Thank you. Thanks for the recording. Okay, quickly, you guys can introduce yourself, that your name, and how do you know about Workday point of view? I mean, what's your domain? Already you have an experience, or you're trying to move from the different domain to Workday? Yeah, quickly we can share that. Is that okay?
Yeah, Ravi, can I go now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Ashok from Atlanta, and I've been in the industry from the last 27, 28 years in the HCM world, and I've been with PeopleSoft in the
Okay.
HCM domain only, and also with the UKG Dimensions product. So I'm familiar with all the concepts, and because that's where I am from the techno-functional side, and I'm managing the teams and all that stuff. But nowadays, actually, I don't have anything on the Workday side, so I really wanted to
Okay.
shift myself, and if I really wanted to get a job, then I'm looking at learning that Workday side on all fronts.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
Hello, this is Pavan
Yeah, hi.
Polavarti. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Pawan.
So just like Ashok and I are colleagues. So
Okay, great.
my background is in finance and supply chain in
Mhm,
PeopleSoft. So I've been working on PeopleSoft for the last 20 plus years. So trying to get a hold of some information and some like tutorial on on Workday. So
Okay.
I don't know like what the scope. Do you also have a demo for finance and supply chain by any chance?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll let you know if there is anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Pawan.
Hi,
Yeah, hi.
I'm Bala.
Hi, Bala.
Yeah, I'm from finance background of
Okay.
Oracle, and
Mhm.
I would like to understand Workday functionalities and to learn on the other side.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Hey, this is Saravana. So I've been
Yeah, hi.
doing the same, like the first two people said, right? But I've been
Yeah.
people for the past couple decades, and then trying to
Okay.
understand what exactly is with the workday, and if there is a chance, I'll try to switch to
Okay.
people to Workday. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great. Yep.
Hi Ram, my name is Durga and
Hi.
I have a finance and healthcare background, but I'm trying to learn, trying to switch into Workday. So I'm here
Okay.
to say, yeah, thank you.
Great. Yeah. Yep.
Hi Ram, this is Vijaya, and
Okay.
I'm
Hi.
into 5 years into HR domain, and I would like to switch this workday. That's the reason I just want to know how was this platform and
Okay. All right. Thank you. So are you done with the people, like everyone, or we still have?
Hi Ram, this is Swati.
Yeah. Hi.
I don't have any experience into the IT. I am just planning to learn, so I want to
Okay.
understand what this technology and how it is gonna help. So my brother is doing this, so I just want to learn.
Yeah. Great. Got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Shoaib, and I recently graduated from UIC, so I'm just trying to, look up to these Workday and everything, just trying to get started on jobs and everything.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Do you have anyone to introduce yourself, or?
Hi, Ramdev here.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, I'm having overall 15 plus years of IT experience. All of my experience in the integration tools like TIPCO, Boomi, Kafka administrations. I want to explore Workday training on Workday. I need to understanding the HCM techno-functional, how it is working on that, and
Okay.
also I have the integration experience how the this Workday is going to be integrating the other application systems.
Okay.
Recently, I arrived in USA. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Anirudh. I have 2 years of experience in Workday, in Workday HCM.
Okay.
I'm looking for Workday certifications, also in Workday integration training also.
Okay, technical training.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, technical training.
All right. Yeah, Anirudh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anyone left to introduce yourself? Don't hesitate, guys. So just come up with the introduction, just your name, and I try to understand that. How we go with the crowd. Like, is it a very freshers, or maybe I can say that you know uh, we do have freshers, of course, but the thing is, I can say the people who know or who knows about ERP and other systems, and yeah, I need to do this from Workday too, just to make sure. So I can understand that how I can run this, the complete demo. Okay, so that's the reason we are just trying to understand it. All right.
Yeah, hi. My name is
Yeah.
Gopala. I'm in Oracle database.
Okay.
And I have some idea on financials and Oracle.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Pasha. I'm in year of college, and I'm trying to look for different paths to get my concentration in. So I also learned about Workday a little bit, but I wanted to get into it a little bit more. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, great. Yeah. So thank you all. Almost welcome. And yeah, you can see the screen, I guess. So here we're talking about HCM techno-functional demo. Actually, we're going to cover the HCM part with the technical and as well as with the functional. The functional would be 70% and the technical would be 30%. That's how, the market or how it works outside. Okay, so we'll talk about this. What is the difference between technical and functional in the course curriculum? So that might give you a more info about it. Okay. Yeah, this is Ram, and I have 15 plus years of experience. I can say that overall experience, and in a different ERPs which I have worked on it, and Workday is like now I'm into a lead position. Okay, in one of the company, and trainer. I can say that I have almost 10 years yes of experience in the training part. Okay, and I have done the corporate trainings too, and as well as outside and corporate. That's how my journey was. And yeah, you guys, I guess you are like techno functional. So most of the people, maybe they more focus on a technical side, or they may be focused on a functional side to learn the things. But techno functional is a kind of though we don't have any, what do we call, any coding part. I guess everyone knows that, so we don't require any coding. Okay, but you guys can understand that how it works, and this is actually designed for everyone. I can say that everyone in the crowd right now, so definitely they can get that. So what exactly we're trying to understand. So Anyone who just joined, if they want to introduce their name and how about their domain experience, they can do that. All right, otherwise it's okay, no problem. So we'll proceed further. Yeah, first we try to understand what is HCM. Okay, so I guess I can see the crowd, like you people are like from the different backgrounds, and few people are, you know, freshers out of college. And so I just run this demo for everyone. Okay, so few things you might know that, or a few things it will be a different perspective, even if you know. So that might happen with a, you know, that's how we have been designed in this demo. So first we try to understand what is HCM, and then we correlate that to Workday. Okay, so HCM is nothing but human capital management. Okay, we're trying to manage people in a company. Okay, if there are, you know, 500, or if there are like 1,000 employees in the company, or 10,000, so we are trying to manage them. So what exactly the managing, what we're going to do first? Okay, so that will be a major part here in the HCM, which covers, it is talking about an employee's life cycle. Okay, the entire life cycle, which is from the recruitment to retirement, from the recruitment to maybe the exit from the company, or from the recruitment to, you know, maybe termination point of view. Okay, so the entire events, what are all the events which are happening in this life cycle, so that is what we are going to understand, and that's what we are going to do with the HCM part. Okay, so we are trying to understand the core HCM part, like what exactly the core HCM, which we are learning in this sessions, and we added up to another modules too. So you will come to know in the next slides, the coming slides. And yeah, first we try to understand that how in aerial view. Okay, so that might, you will get an idea about it first of all. Okay, yeah, now a few people, like I guess you most of the people are like from the ERP background with the different ERP tools which you guys have worked on it, but this will give a glimpse about what exactly the ERP, everyone is talking about ERP, which is enterprise resource planning, you know. So this is like, this is actually managing you know, everything inside the organization. So earlier in the market, uh, so there was no ERP in the market. Okay, I don't want to go with the, you know, the dates and everything, so it will be available in everywhere. So I don't want to go with the regular stuff where, you know, you will get when it started, who started it. So everything is very, you know, easy nowadays, because you will get everything in the Google or Chat GPT or whatever it is. So I want to give you a aerial view of each and everything from the, you know, scratch or the beginning, so that you guys can understand easily and, you know, go with that. That's how we have designed it in such a way. Okay, so now come back to the ERP part. So when there was no ERP in the companies, so it was very difficult for them to communicate each other. So why the organization needs to communicate? You guys must be knowing that in order to run the organization, anywhere, any organization, if you take an example like a very small organization to a very big organization, that means the headcount is high. Okay, so we need to manage that. That's what the main job of HCM. Okay, so what do you mean by manage, and what you're going to do that? So you need to get the data to manage. So without ERP, you know, it was very hectic for the companies to manage everything. So in outside, we got many tools which are available, or we call it ERP systems, like Oracle HCM. Okay, and we have SAP SuccessFactors and Microsoft Dynamics. So we got many things. But why most of the organizations are preferring or moving into Workday? You guys must be knowing that, because as we move as an employee, you want to learn the tool or you want to go with the Workday. Maybe one motivational thing would be is, um, everyone or most of the people might tell you that yes, we don't require um, to do or to get into the coding. That would be the one of the major reason for you guys to sit here, or everyone, including me. I'm not excluding from my end, I'm including myself too. Okay, so that is the main reason we're sitting here and try to learn the things, or get into that, the ecosystem. But that would be one of the reason I can say. But why the companies are going into it, I can say that the example which I can say that Netflix, everyone would be knowing that, right? So Netflix got more than 10,000 employees, and which they are using Workday. Okay, so why companies are moving into a Workday? The main reason which I can say that is it's a complete cloud native solution. So what do you mean by that? It's complete cloud. It's 100% cloud. So we can say that the Oracle HCM and others also in the cloud. But why Workday? Because trust me, guys, it's a user-friendly interface. Okay, because if you practice well, I just underline this. Okay, we'll discuss it later. So if you practice this, I guess everyone would be in the social media platforms, and how you're managing that, you can definitely use in such a way that user friendly it is. Okay, and it got a one-stop solution where we can get everything, in a Workday point of view. So that is the main reason where the Workday, HCM is actually, I can say, it's booming in the industry. All right. So this is actually the informational slide where, if you're not aware of what is happening in the outside market, like how the companies are working. So as I've told you here, it's a cloud native solution, which is 100% cloud. So how the company is going to work, I'll just give you a glimpse of it in this slide. So every company, they got a crucial thing is they need to manage the data. Okay, and in order to work also, they need some servers, we call it. Okay, the server. So the server, where what exactly how they are using it, that is a crucial part. There are two types of servers, or the infrastructure which is there in the system, which one is a physical servers and one is the infrastructure over the internet. If you're not aware of it, the above picture, the right hand picture, which you can see that, which will be having all the cables, right? So that's how the server room looks. So it will be clumsy. Okay, so all the cables and everything, it's actually we need to maintain that server room. And when it comes to cloud, I guess you guys would be knowing that AWS, right? So Azure, these type of cloud platforms where you can get the cloud, you don't need to maintain anything. So which got a scalability, which I can say that, for example, if me being as a company, if I want 10 servers today, okay, and if I have any sale or anything, upcoming sale, anything going to come from my company, so I want 100 servers maybe tomorrow. Okay, so just an understanding of the scenario, so you guys can get this. It's not related to Workday, but just trying to understand this. Okay, so the next day, which I want 100 servers. But when it comes to physical servers, if I maintain physical servers, so that will be very difficult for us to maintain it, because the scalability, I cannot go ahead and immediately go with the 100 servers. But when it comes to infrastructure over the internet, that's what the cloud which we're talking about, yes, we can able to do that. Okay, so how much you're going to use that, you'll be paying for that end of the day. That's how we call it a pay as you go model. Okay, all right, so now we'll come to the Workday HCM. As I've told you that first, we'll talk about HCM and we correlate that to Workday HCM. So this is, you guys can understand that by now, which is a cloud platform, the Workday. Okay, so this is the what exactly we are doing with the the human capital management, which is a HCM, and we got unified system, which we can say that HR, payroll, talent, and workforce planning. There are many things are there. Okay, and we'll talk about this in the next slide, which we're talking about like software as a service. I guess this is actually gives you an information about how it is working. Okay, just to try to understand that. Okay, and this will give you an information. See, the Workday is, as I've told you that earlier, this is the one-stop solution where you can get all the services from the Workday, and which gives the unified platform into it, where you can do all the operations in it. And we'll talk about what is SaaS. Few guys from you might heard about this, or maybe you know about it, but I wanted to give you a layman example, like what exactly it is, and this will give you an idea about it. Okay, so earlier slide, the previous one, which you were talking about cloud platform, right? So in the cloud platform only, we got 3 types of structures available, or the services which we call it. Okay, so this I can take a normal example, the layman example, which I can give you for the first. Then we'll go to the whatever the examples which I have provided to you in this demo. Okay, so in cloud, we got 3 types of platforms, which is a platform as a service, which is PaaS, and infrastructure, which is IaaS, and software as a service, which is SaaS. Okay, so we are more focusing on SaaS, but however, trust me, guys, we are not using this in order to understand the Workday. So this is what we need to understand it in a better concept. Okay, so as I've told you that layman example, if you are if you want to bake a cake, okay, so I can take an example of this, which is, if you want to bake a cake, so what you're going to do, so you need to go to the kitchen, and you should, everyone should be, or maybe I can say, if you take an example of the platform as a service, which is PaaS. Okay, so the kitchen is set up, and all the ingredients are already being prepared for you guys. Okay, so you're just entering inside that kitchen, and you're just preparing or baking a cake. Okay, so that kitchen setup and everything, what we call it here in the real world, which is like all the platform as a service, which is being provided by vendor. Okay, and what we are going to do, we are going to deploy the tools and as well as services. Okay, and there is no infrastructure management. It's a pay-as-you-go model, and the example would be Google App Engine, Microsoft Azure App Services. That comes under PaaS. And we'll go to the infrastructure as service. So infrastructure, I can take the same example. So once you get inside the kitchen, what you thought, I can use this for, of course, though I go with or baking a cake, so I can use the microwave oven is there. Okay, and as well as refrigerator is there. So what you think, I can use this for a different purpose too. It's not only for baking cake, right? So in that scenario, we'll call it infrastructure as service, which is IaaS, that we are going to take the cloud system and use it for the different purpose, like creating that in the virtual machines and the storage purpose and the networking part. And this is also pay-as-you-go model. And the examples would be AWS, EC2 instances. You guys might heard about it. Okay, and this is what the hero, I can say, this is what we are talking about, which is SaaS, which is software as service. So you are not entering into the kitchen and you're not doing anything. Okay, so this is just an example which I can say that the same example, you're just ordering the cake online. So that's how it is. It is a subscription based. Okay, it access through browser, and there is no installation and no maintenance. The best example which I can say that is your Gmail. everyone would be using a Gmail account. So for that, you just need to have a username and password. It's not that you can use your I mean, it only works on your laptop, it won't work on my laptop. It's not like that, right? So you need to have an access to the browser. That means the internet should be there, and as well as you need to have a username and password for your Gmail account. That's how the Gmail works, right? And Microsoft 365 and as well as Salesforce also works in a similar way. And this is what the SaaS model. And by the way, the Salesforce company also using Workday. Okay. All right. Now we'll get into the modules which are there in the Workday. Okay. So we call it modules. Yeah, this is the terminology which you guys should understand that. Okay. So so that you guys can get an idea about it. So what about this module? First of all, we try to understand the overall picture so that it will be easy for us to get inside the topic or the subject what we're going to learn. Okay. So there are many modules in the Workday, which we call it. As I've told you in the beginning, so what is a HCM, which is talking about human capital management, where the phase or the event we call it. Okay. For example, if you're like, see, till now, what you have know, right? So you will be getting a call from one of the company, and what you're going to do, so you will be attending an interview. Maybe it's a couple of rounds, 1 round or 2 rounds or 3 rounds. And then once you get confirmed or once you're shortlisted, your profile, so you'll be getting a call to submit all the documents, to do the background verification and going with all the phases. We call it phases. So this is the recruitment process, right? So once you go to that, the recruitment process, they'll provide you the induction and give you all the details about it, and they will provide you the laptop, right? So maybe the introduction about what your role and all, right? So this is how you'll get insight. Then after that, once you joined, what you need to do, you need to do the time tracking, which is 8 hours or 9 hours per day. You need to track that time. That means the company needs to track your time, like how many hours you've been with the company, like every day, how many hours you're spending. It's 8 hours or 9 hours, depends on the company to company, and you're mentioning that the time, that is what we call it, a time tracking. And we need to understand that, of course, the compensation is very important thing. Everyone knows it, right? So we need to get the salary by end of the month. So that's how the payroll salary would be working. And what exactly the profile which you are working in, so the company will be looking into in a such a way that what is your learning opportunities. It's not that you stick to the same role for years together, right? So company will be encouraging you. Few companies, I'm not saying everyone, maybe depends on their business process and everything. So we'll talk about that also. And how you're performing, this will be like direct interaction from the employee to employer. Like you will be getting every 3 months or the 6 months, depends on the company. And every 1 year there should be a performance management or the performance agreement, what you have agreed to that from the beginning of this year, and how your performance would be by end of the year. So is it increasing, or that's how that depends on your overall a bonus or the variable pay, or you can say that hike of your salary, right? Maybe the promotion, if they promised you to give you the promotion, so that is also depends on your performance. And as you guys know that the financial management, so these are all the modules which are available. We call it modules in Workday. So everything or each and every one becomes a module kind of thing. And we are focusing on core HCM. Okay, we focus on a core HCM. We will cover few things here in the core HCM part. So that's how it is. We'll be talking about what exactly the core HCM, what are all the agenda, and what are all the topics included in the core HCM. Okay, so we call it, I mean, what exactly we're going to cover in this training session. Okay, that's the main important thing which you guys should understand that. So now there are three functional modules which we call it Workday core HCM or the core HR, we call it. Okay, and time tracking. As I've told you that every day you're going to enter your 8 hours or 9 hours. That's what the time tracking is. And the another module is Workday absence management, when you try to apply a leave, or like how you're going to accruals, we call it, like how you get the leaves and how you're going to spend that leaves. Okay, so how we design that, that's the configuration which we are trying to learn in this the functional modules, which I can say cover that. And the technical part which comes here, like these are all the topics which I can say. This is not a module. Technicals are like you try to understand the technical uh, you know, how it is functioning. Okay, and when it comes to the security, first you need to understand that in any of the company, which will be the one of the major thing. It's not about a company security. I'm talking about the Workday point of view, where we are playing with all the data. So how the security plays a major role on it, and reports, and as well as the integration. Okay, so it includes the calculated fields and all. So I will let you know that, guys, it's too early to talk about it, but just I'm giving you a glimpse of it. Okay, so these are all the core functional or core HCM. As I've told you that these are all the topics which we'll be covering it. So entire this would be a 10 topics. Okay, so the core HCM part, where you can get this in outside also. I mean to say, you can check that techno functional role in any of the job portals. I mean to say, outside means in a techno functional job portal, where in the LinkedIn or any other job platforms, or where you can find that techno functional role. So you will get this type of job description. Okay, so first thing is I just want to go deeper into it, to try to make you to understand it and understand what are the topics which we are going to cover in this training sessions. So that will be major, right? So that's what we are going to do that. So here it's actually talking about all the concepts, which is navigation part, and tenant. Maybe it's a new word for you guys, so we'll discuss in next slides. So I will let you know what exactly the tenant and everything. So first of all, I can tell you that the basic navigation is there in our entire what do we call how many hours which we are going to spend. Entire hours will be knowing that navigation part, because that's what the configuration, that's what we are going to do. Okay, and when it comes to organization, so try to understand in a organization perspective or the company perspective. Okay, so see, every topic is interrelated with the other topics, and once you understand, for example, there is a organizations topic. If you understand this, then only you'll understand the other topic, which is the fifth topic, which you can see, that hiring workers. Okay, so because we are hiring the workers on the supervisory organization only. So I can give you just a glimpse of the organization's part. So there is something called supervisory organization, which in a normal terminology, you might see that like there is a individual contributors. So then they are actually reporting to a supervisor. Okay, and couple of supervisors, or maybe few supervisors, would be reporting into a manager, and few managers would be reporting into a senior manager, and the director and the executive. That's how it depends on the company hierarchy or the structure, how it is, right? This is how it goes. So what we are going to do, what's our job? So we are going to create a supervisory organization, not for the department. Normally we assume that it's for the department. We have a manager, like sales team or sales department, or if it is IT department, so we will be having. So it's not about department which we more discuss on. We are dealing with the people, right? So that's what our main agenda, which is a HCM, right? So we are talking about, that's what the supervisory organization will create, a supervisory organization for each and every manager. So how do we know that? a manager, like we can create a supervisory organization for one manager. So very simple and thumb rule is that manager should at least have one reportee. So without having a reportee, we don't call them a manager, right? So that's what the main agenda behind the supervisory organizations. So we will look into more about supervisory and all other organizations. And the next one is staffing model. So we have created a supervisory organizations for one of the supervisor, maybe we can call it a manager, right? Then we need to staff employees. See, this is how it is. Just try to understand that from the beginning, we are going to assume that how it works in the back end. Okay, so first we hire a manager. I mean to say, making a supervisory organization, and we try to hire an employees, which is called a staffing model. There are two types of staffing model in Workday, which is a job management and position management. So how are we going to staff the people? The only difference between this is position management. You guys might heard about this. For example, there is a position called a techno-functional consultant. Okay, so that is a position which got the complete information about that position, like a specific position we want it. We means as a company point of view, so we want a specific position. But when it comes to job management, that's like maybe if you the example would be the college. If companies are going into college and do the bulk hiring, right? In that scenario, we'll be doing that job management. We'll look into that little later. Okay, and then jobs and positions. How to create a job profile. So what exactly the profile? We see the job description, right? When we look into that. So how it works? What is there in the job description? Okay, so who will create that in the back end? And what is our scope? As I've told you, this is the module, right? There are different modules. We have a module called recruitment also. So what they are doing, what the core HCM part, I mean our part. Okay, so we'll look into that. And as well as we call it hiring workers. So where we are going to hire the workers end of the day, that is we are going to hire it on a supervisory organization, which we have created in the chapter 2. So that's the reason I keep saying this from the day one. So if you're understanding the one chapter or one topic, maybe you can understand the other things and try to practice those. I will let you know where to practice and all. So, but just I'm giving you a heads up. Okay, because that's how it got designed and everything is interlinked and interrelated. Then only you can understand the subject in a what do we call, in a well-mannered way. And we'll talk about, see, after we hire an employee, what we need to do. See, this is what the hiring till now we hired an employee in the supervisory organization. So after that, what we need to do, we need to give them a salary. That's what the compensation. There are two types of compensation, which is a core compensation and advanced compensation in Workday. So we are dealing with the core compensation in this training sessions. This is completely talking about a core compensation, how to create it, what are all the eligibility rules, how to go with the plans and all grades, everything we'll be discussing about it. And every company should be having a business process. What do you mean by that? See, when you are attending in any interview, okay, you must know that maybe if you're going to any of the company, they will say that few companies will say that 2 rounds of interview, few companies will say that 4 rounds of interview, right? Depends on the company to company. So what exactly is that? And another example which I can give you, if you're exit from the company, if you want to exit from the company, you need to attend or maybe go with the 1 month notice period, or you need to go with the 2 months notice period or 3 months notice period, according to the company to company, right? So what is this? Why they don't have unified thing? Because these are all the MNC companies and they how they work, right? So why do they have different things in different companies? That's what their business process framework will be talking about. That's where we try to understand in our company how the business process would be. If I want to go with 5 rounds of interview, I means as a company I'm talking about, so it's my wish. Okay. If I want to go with a 3 months of notice period, yes, I can put that. That's what we are going to do the configuration, and the templates are available in the, Workday. Okay. So you don't need to worry about that from the, how to deal that. So it will be very easy, guys. But only thing is practice is a key factor. Okay. Till now, till business process, what we have seen here, all the topics which are covering for the functional part. So now we're talking about a technical part. As I've told you, that security, because we are going with a lot of data. So what exactly we're talking about in the security part? Because the example which I can give you, you can go to your profile in any of the company I'm talking about. If you join in any of the company, you can go to your profile and you can check that your payslip or your compensation, right? But you cannot see others' compensation because there is a security inside. And another scenario is you can able to check your compensation, but we cannot go ahead and change it, right? If that is the case, everyone will be, changing their compensations. So that won't happen. So that's where we need a security. We means most of the times in this course, I can say that you need to think or look into the perspective from the organization point of view, so that you will understand these topics better. Of course, I will let you know when you need to look into that from the employee perspective, but most of the times we'll be talking about an organization point of view. Okay. And when it comes to the reporting part, so we got all the data right now. We are trying to create the data. So how or where it's going, what exactly we are going to do that. So there is a security for the data. Yes, that's really well and good. So how to pull the data? Okay. The interesting part, I wanted to ask a question. I know that, everyone got their own things. Maybe anyone can answer this question. So you guys should be knowing that we don't have any coding or coding knowledge not required, right? So anyone knows that why it is? Anyone?
We need to understanding the trends of the input data, how and analysis purpose. How many employees? Suppose this is a reporting, right? We need to.
No. I'm not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about reporting part. I'm talking about general perspective of this. So everyone would know that the Workday, uh, we don't have coding. We don't need to learn the coding or any Python or Java or anything. So why we no need to learn that?
I think it works on a very low code or no code framework where you can drag and drop objects and build your workflows. I think that's the reason that it's no code.
Yeah, absolutely correct. I can say that it's a you are a little closer to that. Yes.
Might
So
be
that's how it
because
works.
of it's a software as service. It's everything is inbuilt.
Yes, that's what we discussed about SAS. Yes, absolutely correct. These are also all the correct. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, maybe I can add one more thing here. So why we don't have a code? Because we are like, see how the outside would be working. Like I'm talking about outside means, for example, if you want to, if there is a data, okay, see, data is crucial. How crucial, you guys, everyone must know that. So if there is a data in the database, in order to get the data, we need to write the SQL code. Outside I'm talking about. Okay, so for that you need to know the coding. But here, why don't we have a coding in order to extract the data? Because here the complete database management is done by Workday only. That is the main reason we don't go with the coding. So you might ask a question, maybe, yeah, there are there is a coding. I'm not saying complete portion of it, but though the people who I have seen that, of course, I'm the same example, which I can say that people who have been in the system for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, without coding only, we have been, going with that or surviving the things. So you can understand that. I'm not saying there is no coding here, but we don't require this type of profiles where we don't require coding. Okay, the database, you won't see a database admin or database management role in a Workday, like how we have the outside roles, right? So you don't find that. So that is, the database is being managed by Workday only. That is the reason we don't have a coding. I guess you got it. All right, yeah. Let's come back to the topic, which is why I've told you this, because we call it reports. See, for example, if a manager, if one of the supervisory organization, they want employees data. If they want one person, one employee contact number, which is a maybe it's not visible, or they want to pull that out. Okay, so they can get into that employees details, and they can, it's easily, get the emergency contact details. Okay, it's there on one of the place where they can get into that and they can get the contact details. But if they want 1,000 employees contact details, so how long it will take? Maybe if you want to do that, they're assigning that work to you. So how are you going to do that? It takes a lot of time if you're doing that manually, right? So in that scenario, we're going to pull the reports. That's where the report writer and standard reports, custom reports, there are many things which we'll be talking about, all the report point of view. In order to achieve these reports or do these reports, and when it comes to calculated fields comes to the picture. Okay, how to use that calculated fields, and what exactly is this, which we'll be understanding it in the calculated fields. And the next one is integrations. So here we have, as I've told you, there are different modules available. So every module needs to talk each other, because in an organization, if I am going with I can go with the multiple modules with the multiple vendors. For example, if I am using core HCM from Workday, I means as a company. Okay, so if I'm using core HCM from Workday and a payroll from ADP, so these systems needs to talk each other, right? Then only the employees will get a salary. The data needs to be transferred, and these systems needs to talk each other. So that's what we call it integrations. And where we call it enterprise interface builder, that is the EIB, one of the integrations, the simple integrations, which we call it EIB, inbound and outbound, and how it works with the core connectors also. So yeah, we'll look into that till the core connectors. And there is something called advanced integrations, which is a studio, which is not part of it. That's completely a different module. Okay, this is what the techno-functional one. Okay, till now, what we have discussed, the topics which we'll be covering for the techno-functional part. And here we want to, actually we were discussing earlier, when we go with this course. So we want to give more to the people, like who opt for this course. It's not that we restrict to one single module. Maybe you get an exposure of different modules, so that there is a possibility that you get a job or get into this field immediately. Okay, so that's the reason we have included these two modules, which is a time tracking and time and absence management. What is time tracking? So as I've told you that every day the employees would be entering their 8 hours, 9 hours time. Okay, that's what the time tracking is. And when it comes to time and absence management, which we call it, like you're getting the leave, like time offs. So every company got their own things to do that, right? Like few companies will provide you 12 leaves, 24 leaves, or maybe 20 leaves per year, and as well as like maybe you will get those leaves, how the balance would be, coming to your account, like that is called the accrual. So how to create that accrual and all. So that's what we'll be learning, all these 2 modules, and I can say that this will give you more exposure on different modules. That's what we have decided and put these 2 modules here. Okay, and I have told you that the Workday tenant, right? So this is, you will be working with a tenant, and as well as you will be going with a tenant only. Okay, so what is the tenant? If you're going into any other new place, so what will happen? You will be searching for any of the apartment or house, right? So where we can become a tenant over there. So that is the same concept which we have here in the Workday point of view. So where the Workday is providing, the company Workday is providing the tenant. So as I've told you earlier, this is a, you don't need to install anything and maintain anything. Okay, if you have, they will provide you a URL and username and password where you can just enter into that or log in into that. That's it. That simple it is. Okay. When you go to the production tenant, okay, so there are 3 types of tenant which will be like, which you need to understand that in a basics. Like a production tenant, of course everyone knows it. That's where we'll do all the configuration. Whatever we have discussed so far, we'll do all the configuration in the production tenant. And there is something called a sandbox tenant, where there is a testing tenant. Test tenant for the, in order to do the test, and we'll do any modifications and send that information or the configuration to the production tenant. And we have sandbox preview tenant. We have sandbox and production tenant. Why do we need sandbox preview tenant? Okay. Anyone is saying? Someone is unmuted.
Just to see how the output is going to be.
We got testing tenant, right? That's how where we can test. That's what the sandbox we call it.
Before going to production, right, we need to do the performance testing, right? Maybe
okay,
this is also one of the sandbox
that we
tenant.
can do that in the sandbox tenant. No, I'm talking about why the sandbox preview tenant.
This is just like development access. Developer we can do, right? Just we have to develop the.
Yeah, kind of. I cannot say completely development. They'll get a implementation tenant. There is another tenant. There are different types of tenants. Okay, so I don't want to give you everything in the day one onwards. So I'll just give you a glimpse how it works. Why we need a sandbox preview tenant in Workday? There is something called releases. There are 2 releases every 6 months. The Workday will release all the new updates. Okay, so in order to, whatever we have in the sandbox tenant, it should not get affected or do any changes in this, because we have a sandbox preview tenant which has been provided by Workday only, that to test that whatever the upgrades which we are getting it. So how to how these updates will be applicable in our system. So test those updates in the month of March and as well as in the month of September. So we'll be getting these updates. We call it release 1 and release 2, R1 and R2. So that's how it is. Yeah, that's the main purpose of the sandbox preview tenant.
Is that pretty standard of Workday to release twice a year?
Yes, it's pretty standard. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Every 6 months, we call it twice a year. That's every 6 months. Yes, and they'll be, it's pretty standard that they'll be providing all the updates.
And what are those months again?
Sorry?
Which months again?
It's in the month of March and September.
September. Okay, thank you.
Maybe it's end of the March or something. It depends on that, how it works. But it will be on the March and September most of the times. All right. So, yeah, there is something called, which I need to say, that there are no prerequisites which you're going to learn before getting into this course. Okay. And if you know the HR services, or maybe the background of your education, or maybe your work experience, so that might an advantage. And I can say that I am the example that I didn't have before coming to this. My education was not into the HR, or my what do we call, the work experience was not into the HR. So it's not related to that, but just it's an added advantage. Okay, so you will see the right hand side. You have all the all the roles and how it works with that. When it comes to HCM, functional consultant, techno-functional consultant, and analyst, HRIS specialist, and HCM trainer, and the project manager, data analyst. Okay, and when it comes to Workday developer, so that's what we have different types of all this information available in the market. You can see that most of the Workday chunk, or whatever we call it, it will be available in the LinkedIn. If you guys have not sure about the LinkedIn, maybe you're not using the LinkedIn profile, try to use that. And if you're using, and try to use that, or go with the search option of what is Workday market and all, so that it will be very helpful for you to guys to understand the market, what exactly the requirement, and what exactly we are learning, and how it goes with the hand to hand. Okay, and this actually, as I've told you, that which will be covering the technical part, and as well as with the functional part. So that's the main agenda of it, because we don't want to give you a few things where it will be restricting your what do we call, opportunities. So we want to give you more opportunities, or get inside it as soon as possible. That's the reason we are going with the multiple modules, making sure that technical part also, how it is, that's what the main technical part, which will be added advantage for you. And when it comes to the duration, we are going with the 30 days of training, which will be like total 60 hours. Okay, we are planning into that. And the timings would be the 7 to 9 a.m. That's IST, which is a 2 hours each day. And weekly 6 days, which we're planning it from Sunday to Friday. Saturday tenant won't works. We'll be providing you tenant access also. That's what I'll be talking about, because you need to practice it, right? As I've told you from the beginning of this session, you require a lot of practice, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So we'll be providing the tenant access to in this 1 month, and you'll be getting that access, and that's how you'll be working on it. And you will be getting the video access also, so that you can, maybe you can pause it, and you can do that, take a session, or what do we call, a notes also, do anything, whatever you want, just to go with that and practice. That's what the main agenda, the material and all the information about the resume preparation. So everything will be available. And there is something called a server access, which will be providing 1 month access for the server. That's what the tenant, we call it. We just mentioned that server, but you guys need to understand that. But it's a tenant access, which we call it. That's what we learned just now, or what exactly the tenant, right? So the Workday will be providing the tenant, and we'll be providing you tenant access. And if you need any additional month, I'm talking about, 1 month, which we'll be providing it. And if you need additional month, which you need to go with the 10,000. But this will be like, you have an optional, it's up to you, where you can share your timings. Like, for example, if 3-4 people are there in that, where in the kind of which we can make it as a batch, 3-4 people, and timings also. Maybe, for example, 3 people will be sharing that 1 month. If it's up to you, that's up to you how it works. But this is what we can say that. Yeah, you can go with the questions, and anyone got.
Ram, one quick thing. What is the difference between Workday and Kronos UKG Pro also there, right? That is also a SIM tool, right?
Yes. It's a different tool. Yes, Kronos is for which we use it for time tracking. As I've told you that the time tracking is provided by Kronos, or if it is provided by Workday, it depends on that.
Only that difference. Both are same only. Any other tools?
See, HCM part, maybe all the HCM would be same, but when it comes to Workday, as I've told you the difference, right? So that's how it works. So only one difference, which we cannot say that, but there are different, for example, ADP, right, for the payroll. Most of the companies would be using ADP for the payroll. So even Workday also got a payroll. So like it depends on the employer or the company which one they want to opt it for.
Okay, I got it.
Ram, I've got a question. Can Workday be integrated with these physical time tracker machines where, folks use a punch-in card or just log into, with their thumbprint, and then log in their time? Can Workday be integrated with those machines?
As far as I know, I don't think it will be integrated with the punching cards. It will be integrated with the system only. So yeah, that's not possible, I guess.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, you said that coding is required, right? Can you let us know where coding is required?
I said no, it's not required in this part. Like as I've told you that this part not required.
So it's completely codeless, like
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's configuration only. We are not doing any coding. See, as I've told you that where the reports. So when it comes to the reports part, when we try to extract the data outside, we call it SQL, right? So here we don't have anything. So we just configure the data and we can. There is a template which are available. Templates we call it, which are available provided by Workday, and the data is being managed by Workday only. That's the reason we don't have any coding part. Yeah, you got it, I guess.
Yes. So one last thing. So once the course is completed, like what kind of roles could we apply? You mentioned multiple roles.
Yes, you can apply for any of these roles according to your. See, that's what I told you. We can apply for any of the role which depends on your previous experience. So how you're going to show that your previous experience. So according to that, we'll be applying this whatever the roles which are available in the market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ram,
yeah.
One question from my end.
Okay.
See, as you told, like I just gone through LinkedIn site and I just seen like what are the opportunities that was there for Workday, and I just seen like most of the opportunities was opened for 3 years of experience. Suppose we entered as a fresher now, and we just want to train into this platform and switch our profile to Workday. Then how it
Okay.
would be helpful for us?
See, I can say that companies won't encourage the freshers. To be frank, maybe it's I can say the intern options that are there in the companies, but it would be very rare. So I cannot promise you that like it will be like we'll be having in the interns are there in the company where they take the interns for the Workday, but minimum of 3 years they'll expect the experience.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be there. Like most of the companies, maybe the intern chance which you get it, so it will be really well and good, but that depends on the company to company when they're going to release that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I have visited this LinkedIn platform, I have
Yes,
seen
of
that
course.
openings
Yeah,
are
good
into like
observation. Yep.
3 years or 5 years or something like that. But
Yeah,
there is
minimum.
zero.
Yes.
When I have seen there is zero figure for entry level based.
Of course. Yeah, I can say that. Yes, that's correct. That's how it is. We cannot say that like. That's what I don't want to give you a false information on it. So that should be there. So no freshers for that, like, or maybe the interns which they can take. Most of the companies are looking for at least a minimum of 2 years of experience, which they consider
Okay.
being an experienced candidate. Yes.
So will we get those practical scenarios to practice and get into these things?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like by end of this course, you can showcase your experience, like how. See, there are two things here. We'll do from our end. We'll provide you all the material, and as well as going with the all the topics, as I've promised you, or shown you everything. So making sure that you guys should understand. And the second thing is you need to practice from your end. So if you
Yeah.
practice and if you do that, so you can definitely showcase your experience that yes, I have a minimum of 3 years. You can showcase that.
Mm.
Hey,
Sorry,
Ram.
I'm sorry.
sorry to interrupt, Vivek. Just I stuck at one point, as Ram said. Sorry, Ram. I was stuck in here. As you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
like if we want to go with some 2 or 3 years, but
Mhm.
when we recently just assume a scenario, we just recently completed some X experience, and we don't into workday. And if we want to add it out,
Yeah,
how?
we can. Most of the people will be doing the same thing. I understand your
Okay.
question. Most of the
I
people
know
will
at
be
this
doing the same
at
thing.
this time I should not ask, but I'm stucking there. That's the
No, no, no,
reason
no,
I.
no need to hesitate that. See, that's what everyone. This is open, open thing only. I could say that open book. Everyone knows that. See, as you have already seen that in outside, like how it is the market and all. So you should understand that yes, outside. If you have any other experience, other domain experience or other experience, you're just putting that experience here in this workday. See, that's what the this all this concepts, or like we call it a learning and all this, right? So
Uh,
which
yes,
makes
that
to
I
or
do
equal to that.
agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I do agree. But here is like if our previous company don't have that workday tools or something, but how it is possible?
No, I'll let you know that. I'll let you know how
Okay,
to manage that.
okay,
No need to
okay,
worry. I
fine.
know that like previous company is not into this. These are all the very basic things which we can understand that in initial days. So if they are not using workday, how to manage it, how what to say that. Yeah, I'll let you know everything. Don't worry.
Okay, okay, Ram. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, welcome.
Yeah, Ram, quick question. I saw one of the roles as a project manager. Now, I've
Mm-hmm.
done many SAP implementations, including
Mm-hmm.
success factors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Workday, is there like a pre-configured template that a PM can follow, apart from the lingo, because
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what you would want to know how to speak and walk the walk and talk the talk as a project manager, right? So you got to know the different modules that make sense. But from a technical perspective,
Mm-hmm.
um, how much should, or is there like a pre-configured template that a PM can just take up and follow and speak to it and can
Mm-hmm.
become a PM?
Yeah, I can say
A
that. See,
Workday PM specifically. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. It's okay, no problem. So I can say that, Vivek. Yeah, I got your question. See, whatever we have discussed this topic so far, so all these topics are the implementation part only. Okay, these are all the topics which we are talking about implementation. Okay, and I don't want to give everything in the day one. So that's the reason, because it will be like what's happening. So this is what we are trying to learn and understand the implementation part. And there is something
Okay.
called the support function, where you will get into the support function role, and you will be doing that also. You can apply for that. So this is the way how you can merge with the both the things, with the implementation and as well as the support function role. So we'll
Okay.
talk later about it. So I
Okay.
understand
Good.
it's too early to talk about it.
Too early.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Just like,
yes,
I
yes.
just wanted to make sure, for anything to install, like an SAP ERP
Yes,
solution
yes.
you need a
Yeah.
basis guide, right?
Of course, of course. Yeah.
That's one of the things I want to know. What are the different roles that are involved in implementing? So, if
Yeah,
you're going
makes
to
sense.
cover
Makes
that
sense. I
later,
got your question. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Definitely, definitely. That's what we're going to cover, but because that's what I
Okay.
told you, that the implementation, whatever we have seen, this implementation
Mhm.
is nothing but, maybe I'm just trying to clarify that everyone in the team. I mean, everyone right now. So they are providing a blank tenant. Okay, we start from the supervisory organization, so we go with that each and everything. We'll configure each and everything. So that's what the implementation which we're talking about. And yeah, we'll discuss it a little later, because I don't want to give everything at this moment. It's too early to talk about it.
Got it. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Ram. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yeah.
As a part of the scope of this whole training, do you cover anything related to like the actual migrations, like what the data models are, or what are the scripts that you typically use for migrations? For say, you are converting from PeopleSoft to Workday.
Not exactly the migration part, but I can say that it will be with the integration part. Yeah, as I've told you that, like the last topic which we were talking about, integration, right? The EIB and the core connector. These are all the integrations which we normally use in order to get the data from other systems.
Right. But
Yeah.
do you know, like typically, if you have done any, like, have you done any like migrations from another system to Workday?
Of course, yeah, of course, yeah.
So what do they use like to load the data? Typically, what is it? Just scripts or
scripts? No. What I'm okay. So how you going
database
to
loading?
load the data?
Yeah.
Okay. See, the migration part, which we normally use, that even we have a migration that means like migrating from one tenant to another tenant. We have tenant concepts here, right? So when it comes to the one tenant to another tenant, we normally use object transporter. And when it comes to the solution, we use it. Okay, depends on the feasibility and what the company is opted. Okay. And whatever the configuration which we are doing it, and we'll just do that with the, yeah, there is a migration part which we have worked on it. But yeah, that is like, I don't think which will be or which is not I'll just talk about that. There is a topic, a small topic to give you information about it. That's it. Okay. Because that I don't think you need to get deeper into that.
Yeah, but do you kind of discuss the data model, like what table structures are and so on?
Yeah, that's what I said. There is nothing called a table structure or anything. We are not doing any SQL. If there is a table structure and everything, which will go back to the same, where we need to learn the SQL and all. So it doesn't require this type of training.
Yeah,
Okay.
the reason I'm asking is
yeah.
in my current organization, they were actually doing this. They were actually migrating from PeopleSoft to, so they brought a team from actually from Workday who were actually helping. So they were writing all these scripts, right? They know kind of from this table, how are you converting the data? We already have like 10 years data in PeopleSoft.
Yes.
So how do you convert? So you have to go to the tables only, right? I mean, where else will you put this data? So
yeah, that's what in this completely different. There are scripts. That's what I told you. It's not that we are going to.
Pavan and Ram, sorry to interrupt. This is Saravana. Pavan, to your question, right? Yeah, I worked on PeopleSoft to Workday conversions. So probably your question is how am I going to send all my data, the 10 years old data, into the Workday system, right? If it is
no, I'm just
PeopleSoft,
asking for the map. Like, do you have some data map?
Right. So what we did was the company, we used to work with this company called Collaborative Solutions. So they were using whatever Ram was saying, right? The EIB templates. So they had this EIB templates, and then they used to put everything together into, they used to give us the data mapping thing. So this is the structure of the, this is the data structure. So,
object transporter, we call it.
And we
this is
used
different
to
actually.
fill those XML, sorry, the Excel files and give it to them. They'll just simply load it. I mean, no big deal there. Yeah.
Yeah, XSLT. Yeah, it's very simple, guys. So you XML and XSLT, which we'll be using that. So you no need to learn anything. See, maybe you guys can get that if it is XML, where that's the language. It's a human readable and a machine readable language, so we can read that. So that is, I'm talking about a core technical part. If you're in part of that core technical, but you don't do that regularly, you'll be end up going with the configuration part. But anyway, yeah, I guess you got it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry, I seen this REST API something. So does XML that use that REST all that thing? I mean, in that integrations part.
Yeah, just give you introduction about it, like how it works with the web services, how the web services would be working. That's what I am saying. When it comes to the web services, we need to understand that, like how we can transfer the data from, or we can call it a migrate the data from one system to another system, and how we are going to send that. It's an outbound or inbound, and how we are going to do that. Yeah, it will give you a glimpse about it, like
Okay, okay. So
the REST
using
API
REST.
part.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes. Yep.
Ram,
Yeah.
so uh, I'm like I'm looking into your course content. I don't see a chapter or topic for accessibility. Is that? I mean, you're not going to cover that, or how it is?
No, XSLT is not covered. XSLT and XML, it's not covered. That actually takes a lot of time again to go with that. It's completely different things. So
All
XML,
right.
instead of XSLT, you can go with the Excel also. Okay, so of course, see, when you get into the technical part, completely into the technical part, yes, we need to cover that. But this is like, as I've told you, that from the beginning, it's techno functional, where the technical part would be 30% only, and the functional part would be 70%. So we are covering the complete functional part. And as I've told you, that we have added two another modules also. That's how it is.
So actually, I'm looking into Workday integration specifically because I'm going to be a Workday integrations developer.
Yeah, that's completely different. See, that's what I'm saying. If you take an
So
example of
exactly.
integrations alone.
So we do have a separate big team for functional, but we are not part of functional team here. We are
Okay,
completely
okay.
integrations team, and we do deal with all the integrations. We do have
Got it.
200
Yeah.
integrations, and then yeah, REST APIs and everything, XSLT, Workday
Yeah,
Studio.
Sorry to interrupt. So you don't cover
That's
integrations? I mean, like what Anant is asking, I think. I mean, because I gone through some of job postings, so the most are asking about integration. So
yeah, I said it. See, that's what I'm saying. Integrations it's a techno functional, right? It's part of it. We'll be covering the integrations, which are the basic integrations, which is a EIB and as well as core connectors.
okay,
Okay,
but not like
so
in total like
yeah,
because
it's not total. You see, that's what I'm saying. If you go with the only alone integrations, which will take 30 classes for integrations only, 30 hours. And
oh,
advanced integrations would be studio, which will take more 30 hours. So that
okay,
is completely
because
different.
why I'm asking is, don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong,
No,
because
nothing
trying
wrong.
to get the job right now.
Yes.
I mean trying to see like if I mean work from home, trying to get job that allows work from home. You need to be good at like total whatever is there, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
so
what.
it's
See,
like
it's up to you
yeah,
how you. I mean, which one you want to go with that. It's not the like functional part
there
is
are
like
there are two parts like in Workday. One is functional, one is technical.
technical.
So
Yeah.
functional you do have jobs, and technical you do have jobs. But as far as me concerns, I need to go to integration, so that's why that is my requirement. So that's why I
Yeah,
asked.
it's according to the
Uh,
requirement. It's not
yeah.
that particularly you want to go with the I
Do you
suggest
do
that.
you provide a
Mm.
separate training for integration stuff? I mean, not like functional or techno functional, but I need a complete technical
yeah,
training.
that's a good question, because I'm also looking because
Okay.
if
Yeah, we do have
That's
that, but maybe we may not start it immediately, but we'll let you know that. Maybe you can just check with the coordinator or the all this one, so that you will
because
get
as
an
far as
idea
the
about it.
content
Yeah.
is also concerned, I can see
Hmm.
70 to 80% of topics are functional, which
Of
which
course. Yeah.
I don't really bother about, but I do bother
Hmm.
about the last two, three topics. But
Hmm.
you said it is going to be very minimal, so that's what I concern.
Yes. See, it's just a point of view where you want to go with the integrations part, but I agree, because you know that, like, you want to go with the integration. That is completely your choice. But I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everyone in this session. So where, if they are moving into very first time, I suggest them to go with the functional part. Okay, so that is very feasible
Yeah,
for them.
true.
Yeah. So I don't want to get into the technical, where it will be very difficult for a new person, or maybe not exposure of any of the ERP, or they're not sure about it. So it will be very difficult for them to get a job in a technical part. I guess you know that.
In fact, everyone need the functional knowledge, by the way. Even
Yes,
me.
yes.
Okay?
Yes,
So
of course, yeah.
if you want to do integration, but you need the functional knowledge of the platform. Otherwise,
Yes,
you can't do.
Otherwise,
But you
it would
need
be
a
very difficult.
functional and this also, right? Integrations, because I see like some of them they're asking like at least from the job postings. But
See,
is there
depends
any
on how.
Workday finance also?
Yes, finance is also there. That's different module. As we discussed earlier, there are different modules are available.
Yeah, understood. Okay.
Yep.
So what
Ram,
the
I have a quick
timings?
question. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Somebody
one
asked.
question. Yeah.
Okay. So I've been talking to my friends who are working in this Workday integration, right? Initially, even I had the same idea that integration meaning studio. From what I heard from this is 80% of the integrations are happening through tenant only, EABs and all these
And
configurable.
core connectors only. Yes.
Only 20% very advanced level for complex integrations they're using studio.
Yes.
So
That's
even
correct.
I was having the same confusion. Like whenever somebody says like I need Workday integration developer, I would always assume that I don't know studio, so I cannot try for that. So that's not the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. See, it depends on how you want to portray yourself. But the thing is, whatever the knowledge you have, or whatever the background you are from, and possibly I can say that the very beginning, if you're beginning that your career with the Workday point of view, yes, of course, I'll suggest that go with the functional, because I have seen people who has seen the videos of just an integration videos, and they won't get the completely and get into the job. Maybe the proxy or something which they try that, but they won't sustain in the job for a longer time. Which I have seen that that won't happen, because without having a proper knowledge on the integrations part, that will be a technical part. To be frank, that is a technical role. So
No,
of course,
the integration say the thing is how much you teach in this class and how much in the job market. Like, is there any?
Yeah,
is there
that's what I'm saying. This is not completely into the integrations class, right? So this is what, as I've told you from the beginning itself, there's a
I
techno functional
understand.
which will be
No, I
covering
got it. But
technical and
Sarvana is saying the integration is like EAB connector, all that. So is that sufficient with this class? That's what I'm.
Yes, of course. That's the reason I mentioned everything, right? So I've been into the industry for a long time. So that's what this is sufficient only, and many people have got an opportunity
Okay.
also, like get into the jobs. So
Okay.
yeah, this is sufficient to attend or to get inside at least.
Yeah, because
See, once you get inside, so what will happen? You slowly learn the things, and you just move into whatever like your expertise are, whatever your interest.
Understood.
Okay, any module or anything which you want to learn, just you can learn it, the self learning, and also it normally happens in Workday, which I have seen many people in these years.
Understood. So you teach anything apart from Workday, just to know, that's all, because you said so many years in ERP. Is there any good other skills like in demand?
Normally I go with the Workday only.
Oh, you go with Workday.
Yes.
So you teach like other modules also, finance, etc. also?
Except finance, I teach different modules too. Depends on the requirement. Yep.
So which one, just for job market, right now, which one else is demand in Workday apart from HCM?
I can say that, see, I cannot say that demand. It depends on, though it got a job market outside demand, but your profile should support that, right? That's your profile, your expertise, and the way how you're going to learn and what exactly you're going to get it. See, this is the base thing which I can say. In order to go to any of the module, even you can try integrations also. I'm not saying there's no wrong in it, but the thing is, you need to understand the basic, or the base should be there. So what is happening
that I
in that?
understand.
Yeah,
because
that's it. See,
you have
that
web and
this is
REST
this is
API
what
and
this is what which I have seen in a overall, like in the Workday career only. Many people get a job inside that. Then once you get inside, it's easy to go ahead and do other things. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Any questions? Maybe we can take any one question.
Okay, I'm good. I'm dropping off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I joined a bit late. So did you show any demo or tenant or something?
Not the tenant. I didn't show the tenant, but I've seen.
You guys have access to tenants, right?
Of course, yeah. Without having an access, we cannot teach that content, right? And as well as you guys should also have a tenant access. We'll be providing that, so then only you will be, practicing it.
Okay. So when is the HCM this batch starting?
We'll discuss like the coordinator or like the people, like when we're going to start it. So mostly the tentative would be from Monday onwards, but we'll look into that.
Okay.
Ram, I have a quick question. So not sure if I missed that part. So what is the duration and plan of the training? Like every day, weekdays, weekend, timings, and everything?
Yeah. This is the one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 60 hours of total, because we got 3 modules, right? So that completes with the 60 hours of training, which we want to complete that in the 30 days, which will be 2 hours per day.
Okay.
So
2 hours
from
per day.
Sunday to Friday, Saturday the tenant won't work. Okay. That's
So what's the timing, like EST time?
Yeah, it's a 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's IST time. So you can convert that to the EST.
8:30 to 10:30 Central for me at least. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. If no questions, thank you. Thanks for joining.
Can I see the presentation? I mean, is this possible for you to share or?
Yeah, it's been recorded, so you'll be getting that
in the email.
Recorded. You'll be getting the recorded one.
In the email, right?
Yes. You can just check that. Like,
that should suffice. Yeah, that should suffice.
Yeah.
And somebody, they just wanted to know about this conversion, right? PeopleSoft to Workday conversion. Just I mean, I'll see if I have those templates. I don't know if I still have it in my computer, but if I have it,
okay. Data
probably
conversion
when
you're talking about.
I'll share it. Yeah, the templates, the data mapping sheets, right?
Oh, thank
yes,
you.
Yes.
Got it. For payroll. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I'm also PeopleSoft resource for last 20 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great.
So, so I'm sure there are opportunities of transformation or converting or moving from PeopleSoft to Workday for certain things. So I mean, if you guys have some template or some direction, maybe we can have one couple of sessions for that conversion part. If you can figure out what typically they are doing.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
That's the
Even if it
implementation
is,
part. Actually, we'll do that. We'll let you know.
probably even if you think the PeopleSoft, because you don't know, you don't want to talk about PeopleSoft in the bigger forum, right? Not everyone will be comfortable.
Yes.
That case, we can connect in person, Pawan, or whoever asked, right? We'll share the information.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
and do you have I was earlier asking about a similar training for financials and supply chain. They're not offering anything right now?
No, not at this moment.
Do you know?
See, because many these trainings I can say that in order to offer any of the trainings, other modules and all, we need to have the support would be there from the tenant part also. The training tenant should be there, so that's the main thing. But anyway, you guys should be it takes time to get into that, or maybe, so it's up to you how which one you want to proceed further. That's how it is.
And do you provide like live tech support or something if possible? So
I didn't get you. What is the live?
If I get into a project or client, if I get stuck somewhere.
Okay, you're talking about once you get into the job. Job support you're talking about. Yeah, we do have that, but you can discuss more about this in the
separate.
Separate.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you all. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
bye, 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 bye.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you.